What I would say would be like the best thing for Ethan, like what he should have done instead, is instead of being like, well, obviously he's equivocating, like maybe to people that are not involved and educated on these things, to like lay out the reasons why.
You've been skipping through the entire video and literally said multiple times, I wish this video existed without Ethan's commentary. And you skipped through his commentary explaining all this. And now you're saying that I wish you would give us commentary on this. I was getting ready to watch this and I already had the idea of like, okay, Dean's going to be afraid throughout the video and he's not going to want to give like a true perspective. And I was right. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I honestly didn't think he was going to take it down into his tummy on this because it's pretty bad. This is actual horrific cowardice. Like he really just should have not watched this at all. Let's get this going, guys. We've been doing too much serious stuff. Donald Trump and Candace Owens and Andrew Tate, all actual real serious things that are going on in the political world. Who would have thought Andrew Tate would have been an actual serious topic of conversation? Weird. Anyway, let's get some slop in here. Nom, 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 nom. A little bit of Hasan H3 Dean Withers slop. Okay, apparently Dean watched watched the Ethan content nuke. From what I'm hearing, he took it down, only watched part of it, skipped through the parts where Ethan was talking. And this is what we got. He took the live down afterwards. Apparently, people are saying he said it was unprofessional, and he feels like he wants to watch it in full to give the credit it needed, or to give it the attention it needed, to not be disrespectful or something. Fine. To me, it sounds like a young man that's part of that's very within Hasan's orbit, afraid to upset Hasan's fans. That's what it sounds like, and I can kind of understand it, especially as a newer content creator and being a little bit afraid. I do get it, but you probably should have watched the whole thing. But it is what it is, guys. And now we're just gonna kind of watch, man. Let's just check it out, dude. Let's check it out, bro. Incredible. This was edited to highlight Dean's reaction. Please watch the content nuke and Dean's stream. Yeah, we can't watch the stream. He took it down. I tried. Incredible. Thank you so much, Dean Withers Reacts. Dean debates.
Oh my god, I just feel like I just got like, wow, man.
Wow.
Something just happened to me. There. What the fuck just happened, man? What?
Hey, you can't be cursing that early in the video, dude. Whoever this is unprofessional.
What is that?
Oh, okay.
He just kind of like kept going. Okay.
What an intro. What an intro, dude.
I'm just gonna pick up right here.
You're ugly as you look like a look in the fucking you look like a
He started here at 18 minutes in when this Hasan fan was calling Ethan a rapist.
Ethan.
So somebody's just saying that Ethan looks like a
Yeah. Yes.
I thought this was a Hasan content.
Feel bad for you guys. Ethan fine,
Bro, what is this? Can somebody like tell me what I'm watching right now? What is
Well, you just go watch the video.
it's on my screen? Okay, so what we're picking up so far, because we kind of started
Wait, what just happened?
halfway through, is Hasan took a picture with some guy that called Ethan, like said that Ethan looks like a and said that he looked gay in a picture. Okay, yeah, it would have been cool if like Hasan was like, what the f-? But I mean,
The guy didn't censor the word fuck like in the first 3 seconds, but now he's censoring every other word. I'm very confused. I know it's not Dean's. I don't think this is Dean's channel, but it's still strange.
I maybe Hasan didn't know that he said Ethan looked like a and maybe,
I think the idea from what I remember of that was to just kind of demonstrate that some Hasan fans are rabid, but I don't remember the specifics as it was a while ago.
he just like okay. I mean, yeah, Hasan should have said something. Somebody Hasan knows. Okay. So maybe there's like a lot behind this guy that was just on my screen that I don't know about. There's no way he didn't. Okay, is that person like a type of influencer? All right, I'm just gonna watch.
And over time, I started to learn that my co-host, he really likes terrorists.
They do musicals. They're very musical people.
By the way, they're bad and they're terrorists, but the song is good. It's just that they're bad. They're terrorists.
Are
you being serious?
Dog, what do you look? You think I made this?
I know they're singing, but I'm seeing this. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say, but they are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated. They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well,
Hasan is very anti-West, so
He is regarded as a pretty brilliant a person in terms of like everything that he's done.
Then I saw clips
a lot of positivity around the terrorists, huh?
like this, where Hasan is explaining how he's hiding his power level to funnel in normies into radicalization.
I think that in the short
This looks like Drake, by the way. Why would you want to make yourself look like Drake?
term, in order to combat against that, you have to advocate for a much lighter form of propaganda. One thing you have to do is advocate for a lighter form while simultaneously still doing agitated propaganda that goes beyond social democratic idea.
You do your part in the funnel for the cause or whatever the fuck you wanna call it. You're doing.
It's like you're watching you're just watching this young man take this information and terrified by the potential destruction that would hit him if he actually started speaking negatively of Hasan because they share an audience and he's a young creator that wants to be successful. How scary.
In my modest opinion, a great.
Honestly, like my legitimate advice would be for Dean Wither. Like I want to see Dean react to this and see what he says. To be honest with you, from a creator, from a content slot perspective, I'd like to see Dean react to the whole thing because it started a little drama. Let's be real, and I love the drama. From a creator perspective, Dean should never talk about Ethan or Hasan again for the rest of his life, and just continuously push his career, his political career, in that and like in the direction that he's been going. Do your thing on live, do TikTok debates with idiots, start debating with people that are maybe a little bit more prepared, so you can put yourself on the map in a more positive way. Do more informative content. I would do that because Hasan is not politics. Hasan is political drama. And right now, Dean is also political drama. Like, let's be honest, going on and baiting idiots that are unprepared for debates isn't exactly like, regular politics. I guess it is to Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk. But, I would just say stay in that lane and push that direction because this stuff, the Hasan, H3, Papa Gut, this territory, this sphere can be very toxic. So for your own sake, for your own career, you should just stay out of it all. Honestly, for his own sake, he should just never acknowledge it ever again and just stay out of it. Don't watch this content, Nuke. Just do your thing, brother. Just to be real. That's the best advice I could give you.
It's a great thing for the cause.
Now listen to Hasan during our very first conversation lie to me about how he's a social democrat to hide his power level.
We should move towards a Sweden-style economy or a Norway-style economy, which would be a social democracy, and protections for workers like higher unionization rates.
Hell, he's proclaimed it loudly that he is a self-described propagandist.
Yeah, he told me that too when he came on my TikTok live. He was like straight up like W propaganda.
I'm saying I am.
Okay, well then
he likes to reframe, but propaganda is typically like intentionally lying about something. And Hasan's just like, it's just advocating for a side or something.
Saying I am.
I just
before
want
you
to
even play it.
A propagandist is much more than someone with a bias. It's someone who knowingly lies to further their political agenda.
Okay, so
that is the general accepted perspective, Dean. Come on.
First, okay, I'm gonna critique what Hasan just said, as well as I have a critique for Ethan. So first of all, I definitely do think that Hasan being like ultra social, ultra far left. And then like lying like we saw in that clip about like moving towards a Swedish model, or I guess like I don't know, I'd probably specify like telling half truths because I spoke with Hasan. I know that Hasan does think that we need to head towards a type of Swedish social democrat model, and that's as far as we're going to be able to get in like maybe our lifetimes towards socialism. That is true. That is still like coherent and could align with like a socialist worldview because it's just steps in the right direction.
I don't think it's that big of the deal for him to like downplay his perspective and then try to radicalize people. I do think it's an issue when he's playing terrorist propaganda on his stream, and he has a double standard for the Ukraine versus Russia, where he says Ukraine should just basically take a deal, Crimea River, even though that's Ukrainian territory and Russia took it over. He doesn't really care about those people. But then when it comes to Israel-Palestine, he's like, Hamas should fight forever, blah, 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 and, pulls actual terrorists on his stream and then doesn't moderate his chat when they start chanting for the death of babies and laughing at the death of Israeli babies. There's definitely a double standard there, to be clear.
But I would say that Hasan would be significantly more based in my mind if he was just like a straight-up social democrat, if he didn't think that we need to take it one step further and get rid of like government as a whole. Like that's a little bit too crazy. And I do think that Hasan kind of misrepresenting that a little bit by saying that, he just wants like a social democrat model like we see in like Nordic countries is a misrepresentation. But I don't think that misrepresentation is a big deal at all. I would love for somebody to convince me that is a big deal. In my mind, advocating for progression towards a social democrat model is a good thing. That's communism? Yeah. Well, he told me in Parker that he wouldn't be opposed to like a stateless, classless, moneyless society. But then Parker was able to drill him down like a minimal government.
I don't really see what that would look like, but I don't care.
But he still said that he wanted to be opposed. So I think that from what I've heard, he's kind of like in between that socialists and communists. I actually don't know where he is.
Okay.
But I do think that like kind of like the switcheroo type of technique of telling some people that you want a social democrat or being like communist or socialist. It's kind of weird. You know, stand behind what you want. Stand behind what you believe in. But I don't think it's a big deal at all. And then also like here with Ethan saying that Hasan, what did he say? Is like that propaganda is like intentionally lying to people. Well, I think that he was able to kind of set that up well by playing the clip of Hasan being like, I want to move towards Sweden and I'm a full-blown propagandist. So then it seems like Hasan is like intentionally lying to people about his like quote-unquote power level of how far left he is. And
well, Hasan lies constantly about the majority of his positions. So like there's a lot. If you watch the full Nuke, you'd have a better idea of what Ethan was saying.
that's why he's a propagandist. But I'm pretty sure when Hasan calls himself a propagandist, he's just being like hyperbolic and he's basically just stating that that
is what Hasan is doing. But that's part of what he's doing. Part of what Hasan's doing is he legitimately comes on and lies about things all the time, right? Like he'll justify the atrocious actions of, like, you know, China putting Muslims in camps and, you know, Russia taking over Ukrainian territory. But then he'll go extra hard on Westerners and he'll literally show on screen a video of Hamas propaganda where they're like they force a captive to kiss, you know, Hamas on the cheek and like, haha, it's a fun time, or else they would kill him. And even the guy comes out afterwards after he's free, he's like, oh, they made me do that. And Hasan knows the context of that. He sees the propagandist positioning with the camera and he's like, oh, look, it looks like he had a good time. So he does she is a propagandist. He uses the word propaganda in the way that he uses it so that he could try to reframe the word. He's trying to redefine the word propaganda so that when people call him a propagandist, he could be like, oh, yeah, of course I'm a propagandist. It's just somebody who's biased for a side. And of course I'm biased for a side because, and then he'll give you, you know, a string of explanations. This is why Dean should not be a part of this conversation because he's not ready. Like getting into the Hasan sphere is like getting into like the Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens sphere. Like you're getting into conspiracy talk. You have to understand 7 depths of hell versus a worth of lore to understand everything, right? Like when you watch Candace Owens, she'll sit there and she'll cast doubt on the Holocaust by saying things like, this story seems like maybe it's not super believable, or actually I think 12 million Germans were genocided, or George Soros. It's a lot of dog whistling, and you have to like jump into a rabbit hole to really understand how much of how disgusting Hasan is, and like he's not ready for it, and he just should not be part of this. This is just not something it's not even good for his career. It's just going to rot your brain, and it's just not smart. Just honestly, for your own sake, stay out of it. Honestly,
he wants to get as many people as possible to believe in what he says by pushing a certain narrative, not by like intentionally lying. Someone in the chat says, Dean, just stop talking. You're going to lose tons of followers. Just stop.
True. He's scared.
Well, I mean, I'm going to speak my mind.
He's not going to. He's scared. Dude, just stop. He's so scared. He's scared, dude.
I understand that, you know, there's going to be a lot of people watching.
He's so
Hasan,
scared right now.
Hate Hasan, etc. I'm going to speak my mind. You know, it's kind of what the entirety of the existence of my platform is predicated on.
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate people on the planet, dude.
Oh my god!
What the? What do you mean, Hasan?
He just doesn't know what to say.
Okay. All right. You too.
Dude, I hate
it. Is true. You guys are kind of dumb.
I hate liberals.
Not that Trump supporters are much better.
Dude, I do. I hate them. I hate them so viciously.
Oh man, what is that? What? Come on. I'm not half bad, Hasan.
Strongest is the adults. True.
That's crazy.
Sorry, dude. I hate liberals so much.
Did this man sit next to me for 2 years and pretend to be my friend?
Dude, liberals are a burden on this planet, dude.
Oh my god!
All right, relax, Dean. You're fucking soying out a little too much, buddy. I know it's performative too. Chill out.
Come on!
This is the only part of the video he feels like he could be comfortable reacting to because he's being silly about it. That's it. He's like, oh, I'm being a little silly. That's all he's got. That's it.
To burn it on this planet. Come on.
Liberals are the most.
Bro, are you serious?
Like scummy, vile.
Jesus Christ.
All right, relax, Dean. Relax, Dean.
Idiots. Liberals.
Oh my god.
liberals are incredibly stupid. I hate these petulant liberals.
Jesus Christ!
Liberal.
What else is
Dude, you have to stop because none of this is all performative and it's all very weird.
someone this sociopathic capable of?
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate people on the planet.
Was I being manipulated this whole time?
Oh my God! I just feel like I just got like, wow, man, something just happened to me. There, what the f just happened, man? What was that? He just kind of like kept going. Okay. He just kind of kept going there. It just, I had to guess. It's out of context. It's all out of context. Hasan doesn't hate me. It's out of context. Okay, actually,
You gotta just not do react content. Holy fuck.
one more thing.
let's
I feel
hear
like
it.
okay.
Let's
I'm
hear
gonna be
it.
objective. I actually do feel like Hasan was probably being like hyperbolic with that.
Yeah, we get it. Hasan's just being hyperbolic. I understand you're scared of it.
Hasan was like probably
He's just fair.
not
He's just scared
telling
of it.
what he actually thought. The reason why I say that is because Hasan has been kind to me. I'm a liberal.
Yeah. Did you watch the video? That's what he does to people. He wants to have your influence. What?
Even like off stream, he's been kind to me. So if Hasan like genuinely did hate and despise, he's kind to you because he wants your audience.
Yeah. What are you being stupid?
Yeah. Okay. I guess it's like
Just stay at
that's like a way
Oh my
to look
God.
at the picture. So what? So okay. Yeah. It's
That's what he did to Ethan for like however many years they did leftovers together.
we're gonna see about a 50. Okay. So there's two possibilities that either Hasan is literally grooming me, and this clip's weren't out of context, or like I guess maybe like you wouldn't even need context and there's just something hyperbolic or false about what he was saying.
Yeah.
Rewind 5 seconds. Okay, that's what he said. So
Okay.
I guess the question now is, was I getting groomed by Hasan?
Okay. That's definitely a Papa Gut chatter and they're arguing with him right now. Okay.
Bro, can somebody like download this and edit all of like the parts of Ethan talking out? Like I would much
Why?
prefer to be watching a video where I'm just like watching clips of Hasan. Like
Why?
Ethan's commentary is just like unnecessary for me. You know what
Wait. Okay. What? It's fine if you don't want to watch it because you know that this is scary for you because you have audience overlap with Hasan and you're terrified of upsetting, the kingpin. But for you to sit here and say like, "Oh, can you edit out Ethan talking? It's irrelevant." Ethan did a podcast with him for years and was personally betrayed by Hasan because Hasan let his chat bully Ethan relentlessly and did nothing to stop it, despite the fact that he could have timed people out and he could have stopped the horrible, hateful things they were saying about Ethan. Why is his commentary irrelevant? Come on, listen. Don't be that much of a fucking coward. Just don't watch it if you're gonna do something, okay?
I mean? Okay. I'll actually I'll get my take on this. So labeling like Hamas like freedom fighters and kind of like being okay and like kind of explaining away some of the bad things Hamas has done by saying the resistance isn't perfect. I disagree with that. I do disagree with that.
Okay.
I think that it is so totally fine to condemn Hamas while condemning Israel, the state of Israel, the leadership of Israel, and every single IDF soldier. And in fact, I actually think that is a better position because it's more likely to be adopted by a broader audience.
Sure.
You're not going to be able to
I think I prefer it because it's correct, but I understand what you're saying.
convince that many people that they should hold this conception of the pro-Palestinian view that would include acceptance of Hamas.
Yeah. Thank you, Dean, for the coldest takes of the century. Oh my God. Incredible.
Through rhetoric like it's not perfect, but they're freedom fighters.
Okay.
I feel as if you could hold a significantly better position that is much more consumable by so many more people by condemning Hamas while simultaneously accepting that innocent humans are dying and Palestine needs to be freed and the state of Israel is committing ethnic cleansing and war crimes. So I can say, do you disagree?
I mean, personally, I don't think it's ethnic cleansing. It seems to be war crimes, right? Isn't one of the war crimes not punishing everybody for one person's actions or like a small group's actions? So killing, innocent Palestinians for the actions of Hamas is terrible. I don't know about ethnic cleansing. The only reason I say that is because like 20% of Israel is, I think it's like 22%, is Arabic. So, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't think it matters. I think the understanding is that Israel's response is massively disproportionate. And it seems like they're using Hamas hiding, because Hamas is hiding under civilian infrastructure. They're using that as an excuse to just say, "Fuck it, we don't care." You know, they don't seem to have a particularly high value of life on the Palestinian people, though nor does Hamas. You know, it's kind of unfortunate. But hey, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
Here's that rhetoric.
Oh, I almost forgot the most fun one. They brought back slavery.
We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do.
That lines up with leftist values. All right, so these
Okay, yeah. If Hezbollah brought back slavery and he's defending Hezbollah, what the hell? Terrible position.
guys are clearly the bad guys. So my question is,
Yeah, sure. Anybody that brings back slavery is clearly the bad guys. Yeah.
Whoa, Dane, you're gonna light me on fire with these hot takes, buddy. You're gonna destroy me with this.
But I know nothing about the Houthis. So I'm actually going to predicate that on an if-then.
I mean, not for nothing, but there's a lot of different types of slavery, and I would say that like child marriage is a form, which is very acceptable in the Middle East, unfortunately.
Brought back slavery. Then they're the bad guys because slavery is bad.
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure.
These were the people that the Saudis were, by the way.
Musical.
Just so you know, these musically gifted.
Okay, so insofar as all the content that would surround Hasan and his takes and considerations concerning the Houthis, I don't know anything about the Houthis. That is one global subject that I'm just simply not educated on at all. So free to scrutinize me for not educating myself on that. But I hope that you won't scrutinize me for not educating myself on that prior, because I will now. But I will say that it is important for me to understand what the Houthis.
Bro, let me tell you, I feel bad for this guy. I feel bad for a lot of young content creators. And the reason is because every content creator that hits a level of success is going to experience their crash out moment, right? There's going to be a moment where the script flips, where the group of people that you would have never expected to criticize you start criticizing you, and your immortality goes away. Everybody grows to a height where nobody really touches them, and then boom, they get attacked. Now, I know that right-wingers go after him, but like he doesn't consider that a meaningful criticism, right? Understandably so. But for conservatives, but for like, Hasan's group, even in this chat right now, as he reacts to the partially Ethan's content, Nuke, he's getting consistent criticism about what's going on. So, I mean, I kind of feel bad it's coming. If he sticks to this whole thing, he should just not associate with Hasan or Ethan or any part of the political drama sphere and just kind of stick to his side. But, that's just my advice.
Like who the Houthis are prior to making a determination. If Hasan's statements concerning them are justified, do you look into them? Okay, yeah. If they're playing like a video from the Houthis, and the Houthis is considered like a terrorist group in America, and Hasan's not present, that's pretty negligent.
Okay.
So let's review his claims. His first claim is that the boat is headed for Israel. It's not. It's going from Turkey to India. Next claim is that it's owned by an Israeli company. It's not. It's being chartered by a Japanese company, and the boat's owners are registered in the Isle of Man. I'd like to remind everybody that the crew that...
Okay, that's really bad. If that's true, that is really bad.
If true. Okay.
If that's true, that's pretty bad. Like I said before, that is wild.
If that's true, that's pretty bad. Let me skip around the video. I'm getting scared. Oh, Dean, stop.
Like, hopefully there's not a defense to that, right? Does Hasan, I don't know if he's talked about this at all, but if he has talked about this, does he kind of like own up and be like, that's crazy?
Dean, my sweet summer child. Oh boy. Okay. Rep. Thank you for the $5 from 123 Tantan. Political streamers should be required to upload their resume. Any streamer who hasn't held a real job shouldn't stream. Okay. What is this? It keeps happening. It keeps happening where like the fucking video is pausing.
Careless young man is...
Bro, dude. Okay. I don't think that it's okay to like call people twinks.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
Like that.
Okay.
Especially like I don't know, when like straight people do that, I just kind of cringe.
All right. I feel like that's not the most important thing going on in this video, but okay. Thanks, bud.
I cringe really hard.
We're big fans of the Yemeni music videos. You can tell them that. I want to ask him about the knife. The knives are sick. What's up with the knives? The curved knives.
If one of those knives comes out in front of you, it's not going back until it has blood on it.
Oh, okay. My bad. Well, I think it's cool, though.
So this is Hasan having an uncritical conversation with the Houthi terrorist. Now, you got upset when Ethan called the guy a twink. What's your response to this guy? What's your response to what's going on here? Let's see.
What the? so far what I've gathered is a couple things. So first and foremost, what came before we got on to like
Oh my god.
Hasan supporting the Houthis? Because I feel like there's some more valuable. Okay, yes. So him like on liberals, I think that was like antisocial is kind of like weird. Honestly.
Oh my god.
Like that was odd.
Don't say twink, dude.
Now like I'm curious in learning like the framing of the statements, and like I definitely think it's just like weird for somebody to be like, I hate liberals. They're all so stupid, scum of the earth. I hate them all. Like not like I guess like
It's really personally offended by that one, huh?
just like the default on libs is
and the libs,
antisocial now.
baby.
Like if I had a guess, he was probably on the libs because of like the institutional democratic support for Israel.
Oh my god.
If I had to guess the context,
No.
it would probably be something surrounding that. Now, like I can't agree. I
Really filling in the blanks there, buddy, huh?
very vehemently disagree with like the institutional democratic support for Israel, and a lot of the propagated semblance that we see in that in a lot of liberals, where liberals will support Israel. But like obviously I'm a liberal that doesn't support Israel. I know many other liberals.
What does that mean? Didn't you it seems like he said before that I got the impression that he felt that Israel had the right to exist, which I support the right to exist, not everything that they're doing. I'm not really sure where he lies on this topic. I feel like he's not going to give us his full take on it because he'd be afraid. Because if you say that I think that for the sphere he's in, which is a very leftist sphere, if you say Israel has the right to exist, that's considered bad. So
liberals that don't support Israel, and when you're just going to say all liberals, it doesn't leave room for that nuance.
It's so interesting. Yeah, he's putting in so much mental effort to downplay Hasan. Hasan being a terrorist sympathizer, but he really goes in on Ethan for calling him calling that dude a fucking twink.
And I disagree.
This is ridiculous.
But obviously I don't know the context. But I just I that kind of wait. He's saying leftists over liberals. And he's right. Okay, well,
Oh my god.
I understand if you hold like a leftist position, you're gonna think that socialism or communism is better than than a social democracy. And I obviously don't mind somebody holding that position. Like diversity of thought exists for a reason. Debate exists for a reason. We're supposed to be able to intelligently converse about these things. And obviously it's going to be a given that if we disagree on something, you're going to think I'm wrong. That's entailed. But I don't think that implies that you should hate me for some beliefs. I think obviously some disagreements can entail hate justifiably. But I don't think like a disagreement between a social democracy and socialism should entail hate. And I disagree with that. I obviously disagree with that. To be fair, neolibs, pretty cringe. Well, you didn't say neolibs. You just said all liberals. Wait about how you hear Ethan talk to various groups. I don't give a shit about Ethan. I'll condemn him if he's done anything bad. And when I say I don't give a shit about Ethan, I literally mean I don't care about him. I'm here to learn from Hasan and what he has said and my reaction to it. And honestly, if there was a second version of this that just didn't include anything about Ethan, that'd be awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh, that sounds stupid, and you're putting me to sleep.
So for all of these conversations surrounding the Houthis, because I don't know who the Houthis are,
Oh my god.
I will seriously just have to hold off on most opinions. Of course, there's some opinions.
I mean, they're a terrorist organization, right? I know that it can sound very reductive when you say that because there's obviously two sides to the coin. A lot of different people get radicalized into some of these perspectives, but it's so interesting that we always disagree, or at least Hasan does, with the Western perspective of if America classifies this as a terrorist organization, then you know what, they're probably the good guys, because that is his take. Because also, what do we have in the United States or in Western countries that's unique to the world? Oh, it's freedom for men, women, children, and LGBTQ people, right? We don't have child marriages. We have robust age of consents, which need to raise, but you can't rape your wife, you can't rape your spouse in general. There's workers' rights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And even in some more financially robust Arabic countries, or Middle Eastern countries, they still don't have particularly heavy rights for LGBTQ people, women, or children. This isn't something inherent to Arabic people, but this is something that's in that culture right now, and it was in everybody's culture. It's not something that's specific to a group. Or to a group of people genetically. I don't want people to. I'm not trying to dog whistle. I just want to be very clear. But, clearly we have the better overall values. All right. And you might say, well, sometimes we do imperialize or we put an influence on other countries. Absolutely. And so does everybody else. Everybody does that. And it doesn't mean that it's okay or good. I think that positive influence can be good. For instance, Uganda is getting pressured massively by world banks because they restricted rights for LGBTQ people. I agree with that type of influencing. Right. So there's different types of influencing, and then there's some that's good and bad. I'd say that we have definitely engaged in bad ways. We destabilize governments, but I'd say overall we're a better force than most other people. So thank you, Jack, for the $5. Tired of rich kids' awful takes. I was in the Middle East at 19, so I truck hauling rocks for public stoning, so people don't know how real, no real hardship. Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's something to keep in mind. That's pretty fucking gruesome. At least we don't do that here in the United States. It's crazy.
I've never watched Ethan's content, just somebody else on the internet. And the only reason I
Okay.
state it like that is because, you know, I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, if you disagree with Ethan on this one thing, oh, sorry, with Hasan on this one thing, that means that you support Ethan. Or, oh, look at what Hasan said. Well, Ethan did worse. Okay, if Ethan did worse, he deserves to be held accountable. If Ethan's done bad things, Ethan deserves to be held accountable. But I'm by no means like a fan of Ethan.
Yap City over here.
Nor have I ever watched his content, apart from literally this video.
The execution we will carry out on all Zionists, with the lovely depiction of a man impaled through his ass.
It's only funny because he said asshole. I'm immature.
And out of his mouth with a pike, or how Hasan likes to say
A Hasan pike.
it, a pike for a cut. Okay, why would he retweet this article called Houthis use social media to boost global prominence and support? Israel falls. Wait for the new operation in Tel Aviv.
That's crazy.
That's super, definitely.
How do you feel about?
He's almost as good as Asmongold, by the way. That's crazy.
Oh, how do you feel about that?
I feel what? You
Like
asking your
calling for
chat?
like. That's crazy. How do you feel about that?
What are you asking? Your audience?
Like calling for like the public execution via
Who are you talking to?
like wooden rod through body for all Zionists. Because see, me personally, I disagree with that.
Bro, you can tell how scared that this kid is to just have a disagreement with his own audience. This is insane. Chat, how do we feel about this? Because I think impaling people is not good. But what do you guys think? Like, what is happening here? What is he doing? Oh my god, this kid's gonna fold so hard once he starts gaining like meaningful prominence on the internet. Like once he starts hitting that crash out face, he's fucked. Oh my god.
Now, for like individuals carrying out war crimes in innocent people,
Okay.
solitary confinement for the rest of their life, and if they die
I mean, I feel like you're better off just killing them. Solitary confinement's legitimate torture.
while they're trying to kill people, I will not give a single, not a single.
Gotcha. Capital punishment for bad people. Okay, cool. I guess I agree.
But calling for like the deaths of all Zionists, I do disagree with that. I think that's pretty gross. Then again, like I don't support the death. It's very
Then again? What do you mean?
rare that I support the death penalty. And Hasan had this guy on his stream. And this guy is just like calling for like mass death and called him Luffy. Is there a defense to that? Like,
I never noticed this picture. This is so funny.
I think that like maybe like a conversation. Bro, he's a kid in Yemen. You want him to love Israel? No.
Oh, he's a terrorist, so I don't care.
Why? Okay, what is going on with like the like false equivocations in the chat insofar as like
Dude, he's getting dumpstered right now. Bro, it's so interesting because Dean's content up until this point has been exclusively go on to TikTok Live, find some very unintelligent like MAGA supporters on there that are completely non-debate ready, argue with them, and then amass a big audience of like easy dunks, okay? And everybody does it to some extent. Like I react to TikToks, and sometimes the people on there are super stupid, and it makes me look amazing by comparison. So I'm not sitting here saying he's like a horrible person, but this is the first time where he's engaging in a piece that's critical of Hasan, justifiably so. And Dean is being like super normal, like, "Hey, I don't think that we should kill all Zionists." But guy, chat, what do you think though? Right? And he's getting hit so hard by his chat, like he's getting bullied by his own chat. And I genuinely wonder what's going to happen when Dean pushes into a new area, because I feel like, you know, you're only going to be 20 for so long, and you can only debate idiots on TikTok Live for so long. You're going to have to change your content strategy. Especially since at a certain point, these people are just going to want to avoid you like the plague because they're not going to want to be they're not going to want to be embarrassed. So I just wonder, where's the longevity here? I wonder what's going to happen next.
How I feel from so many people. He's living through a genocide. Yes, I agree.
Okay,
A
cool.
kid. Yeah, I think like
cool,
in that circumstance, like I can like put my shoes in the perspective of an individual that is like literally living through a genocide, living through an ethnic cleansing, that is also young and like understand like where like
If Hasan had talked with him and asked him like tough questions, then it would have been fine, but he didn't. So
those radical beliefs are going to come from.
radical.
Okay?
Radical.
Like descriptively speaking, I could see how like living through particular living conditions lead to radical beliefs. But I don't think that that means I have to accept the radical beliefs, and it certainly does not justify them. And I don't think it should be normalized either. Here, I don't, so insofar as like the equivocation between a Jewish individual and a Zionist, I mean, I've always like categorically separated like Jewish individuals from Zionists.
You probably shouldn't. So this is kind of where we get into a real conversation. So a majority of Jews in Israel identify as Zionist, and different people are going to have different perspectives of Zionism. You know, some people will just say that, hey, Zionism is just, you know, the agreement that Israel has the right to exist. Some people will say that Zionism means that you should be able to ethnically cleanse other groups. Right. And so how are we operating here? I feel like the word in and of itself is kind of irrelevant. It's become a dog whistle to just hate Jews at a certain point. They put it on. They throw Zionism on there with a little stank to like insinuate that they're bad people. But yeah, I mean, you kind of have to define that before you talk about it. Thank you for the $5 from Chi-Chi. Papa, I'm curious on your take. I'm an educator and have students in your dean's age. They seem very resistant to learning all of the nuances of geopolitical issues. Why do you think that is? Any thoughts? Well, I think that first and foremost, we are in an information age where, 20 years ago, an 18-year-old entered college with a completely blank slate mind. There wasn't a whole lot of information being exchanged, and they probably haven't formed an opinion. So it was easier to kind of educate them and tell them like, hey, this is how the world is, which can sometimes be bad, right? Because maybe you're wrong about the way the world is. I don't know. I think that's part of it. I think that's a big part of it. I think that there's a lot of young people educating themselves on the internet and getting a lot of like out of context information on both sides. And they are forming an opinion. And so now you're no longer educating them on a blank slate, which is easier. You're educating them from a point that they already have. And that's when your confirmation bias doubles in. And so you're already locked in with like, oh, this group is the worst group ever. They're terrible. They're horrible, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then as an educator, you're like, well, okay, there's a little more nuance to this topic. This side actually has some negatives to it. And then you kind of have to, argue from that more difficult point. But I will say that as an educator, you should be able to, I mean, this might be a new tactic. As an educator, you should hopefully be able to have those conversations with your students to try to change their mind from where they are, and I think that that's kind of a new skill that teachers are going to have, and that's the skill of like almost debate or conversation, where a lot of teachers I've had at least were just like, here's information, you might as well just be reading out of a fucking textbook. But you now have to be a little bit more like, oh, okay, let's kind of explore this concept with you. I think that that's potentially part of it. So,
and I would say that, I mean, of course, I don't know who this guy is, but like from what I've seen on screen, like Ethan being like, oh, it's obviously just the case that he wants to all Jewish people. I see that equivocation made often. Especially like I've even had that equivocation made to me by so many people.
Okay.
Like I've been called anti-Semitic for, disagreeing with Zionism. It's called context. Yeah. Is there context that would demonstrate that this guy, when referencing Zionism, is just like seriously just referencing Jewish individuals?
What?
And maybe that
he wants Israel to be gone.
That context would be like lie a little bit deeper. Insofar as,
hey guys, I can understand why an 18-year-old will be radicalized into a terrorist organization. 5 minutes later, hey guys, I think that this 18-year-old radicalized into a terrorist organization, maybe he doesn't mean kill all Jews when he says it. Like, what is your fucking take? Like, pick one. There's really only one. Which one is it?
Yeah, he has. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would honestly here, what I would say would be like the best thing for Ethan, like what he should have done instead, is instead of being like, well, obviously he's equivocating, like maybe to people that are not involved and educated on these things, to like lay out the reasons why, and then on top of that, make an argument that even if he wasn't referencing all Jewish individuals,
Dean, you've been skipping through the entire video and literally said multiple times, I really wish there was a video without Ethan. I wish this video existed without Ethan's commentary. And you skipped through his commentary explaining all this. And now you're saying that I wish you would give us commentary on this. Why did you even bother with this, bud? Why did you even bother with this, bud? Like, this is what they talk about when they talk about fence sitting, right? Centrism. It's okay to have left and right perspectives and opinions, but there are just some things you can't be a centrist on, or else it's cowardice. Okay? And this is one of those instances. Like, what are you doing right now? Like, you're just being a coward. Just don't watch the video. Stay out of the sphere because it's very toxic on every side. And like, go on with your life. But the way that you're reacting to this video is fucking pathetic. You're obviously constantly afraid. So just stay away from this topic and stay away from Hasan, or don't. You can let him harvest your clout and then, you know, throw you to the side once he's done with you too, I guess, if you'd like to. Jesus Christ.
like still yet calling for the public execution of all like Zionist individuals is unjustifiable as well. He did it right before. Okay, if he did, I'm sorry. I'm like seriously brain rotted right now. You showed it 30 seconds before. Okay, well that's my pen. Holy shit, man. It's like everything that I said, every comment that I made, half of the chat was like, double you take. The other half of the chat was like, you're a piece of shit. Okay. I think where I stand, right, somebody said nice farming. I was getting more views earlier when I was debating. What the fuck do you mean nice farming?
He's crashing out, dude.
Be real. Here's some of my takeaways from some of the things in which we've just observed there. So, first and foremost, Hasan's statements towards liberals, antisocial and weird. But like, honestly,
that really got to him for some reason.
Do I think that should end Hasan's career? No.
Okay.
But I would like to see Hasan update that position because it is bad. As well as
Hasan, you have to update the position of liberals are cringe, okay? But your position on terrorism being cool, don't update that one. It's all good. Don't
a lot of people on the left from growing in a more
this is horrible
from a more progressive direction.
Honestly, I was getting ready to watch. I was getting ready to watch this, and I already had the idea of like, okay, Dean's going to be afraid throughout the video, and he's not going to want to give like a true perspective. And I was right. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I honestly didn't think he was going to take it down into his tummy on this because it's pretty bad. This is actual horrific cowardice. Like, he really just should have not watched this at all.
I think like when you like call all liberals like stupid, dumb, and you like advocate for hate, well, then all of a sudden you are isolating from drawing liberals further to the left.
Whoa, so
and
based,
if your goal
dude.
As a leftist is to draw more people further to the left,
so based, guy.
Alienating a group of people that, you know, some of which has good intentions and believes that what is best for humanity should be the case, away from your bubble, is antithetical to what you'd want to do in that position.
Dean, you have twink energy, dude. You gotta stop. That was horrible. Wow, that was terrible. It makes, but okay. But that's what we got, baby. And it is what it is.